My name is Brittany. I am a 6th year elementary school counselor. I usually do weekly vlogs. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Last week my school had parent teacher conferences, and every year during conferences we have a book fair, and so I picked up some new books, and I decided for this week's video I would show you kind of my top favorite books that I use for specific topics, and then just my favorites that are in my office, and then I can show you what I got at my book fair. So thanks for being here. Okay, so every year all of my classroom lessons start with my anti-bullying unit, and I really like to introduce this with some books. And so these are my top favorite books. I have Howard B. Wigglebottom Learns About Bullies. I've used this in kindergarten. I've used it in 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade. I think I've even used it all the way up to 4th grade. Really cute message, really good message. This one's a favorite of students. This year I added Llama Llama and the Bully Goat into my rotation. I did this for grades K through 3rd. They loved it. I actually ended up reading both books this school year. This one was a really big hit. Talked about how we should still be kind even when people are being bullies to us. I also love Llama Llama, but this one was really good. And then for my older grades, I like to read The Invisible Boy. It just talks about a boy who was being excluded, and how people were bullying him and how they slowly changed that around. So those are my top 3 bullying books. I also do lessons in my school uses a 2nd step curriculum, and they have a whole unit on emotions, and I specifically have books just for anger. My favorite 2 are The Angry Dragon. It's really cute. It talks about like how to calm down and like different things that make the dragon angry, and how his friend helps him to calm down, and just different scenarios like that. It's really cute. Love this one. I've used this one in kinder and 1st grade the most. I tried it with 2nd grade. They liked it, but this one is definitely in my school, geared for the younger kids. Super cute. I also read The Little Angry Cat. I've read this one to 1st grade, 2nd grade, and 3rd grade. They've all really enjoyed it. Good messages about how the angry cat needs to calm down. I will usually be like, okay, so we're learning how to calm down strong feelings in our lesson today. What should the angry cat do? And I try to tie the lesson back into the book that we read at the beginning. And then for the rest of our emotion management unit, I like to read The Way I Feel. It just covers a lot of different feelings. My students have struggled in the past with like, oh, they're happy, they're sad, they're mad, and not diving into more like different types of feelings. So this one has jealous, this one has scared, this one has bored, thankful, in addition to like happy, mad, angry, sad type of a thing. So I really like this one. And then I am obsessed with The Color Monster. I love these books. I read this one all of the time with the students, and it's how sometimes we have feelings that are all mixed up, and sometimes we need to say, okay, well, I'm angry. I'm angry that I didn't get picked to be line leader, but I'm also sad because my friend isn't here today, or just other things. One of my all-time favorites. So at my school, we have a wide variety of students, and so I try to be really careful about the grief books that I have. I try to make them all inclusive. We have a lot of different cultures that I have to try to be mindful of. These ones are kind of my go-to but it's super important to be aware of different cultures and their perceptions on like grief and death. But I really like grief is like a snowflake. People experience it. It can be similar, but each snowflake is unique, and everybody's grief experience is unique. This one's really good. And then I also really like The Invisible String. How as long as love is always in your heart, the invisible string will always be there, and how that string is made up of love. Can't see it, but you can still feel it. I use this one. And then I actually just bought this one, I think in the fall conference, but it's The Invisible Leash. It's a story about grief with pets, and I've used this one quite a bit this year actually. Very surprising, but all about dealing with the loss of a beloved pet, or as a student corrected me, a family member. So this one's really cute too. I also made calm down kits for each classroom a few years ago, and I bought enough copies of the books to keep in my office. So these are some of the books that I bought for the calm down kits that I gave out to all of the teachers. So for kindergarten, I have Little Monkey Calms Down. It has like, it talks about manners and like different things that they can do, like singing a quiet song to yourself. What else is in here? When I bring my toddler to work with me, she always like gravitates towards this one. It's really cute. And it talks about how like it's okay to cry, it's okay to feel sad, but what we need to do is we need to calm down. Like we're gonna be still, we're gonna relax. The kindergartners really like this one. I have different books like Mindfulness Makes Me Stronger, that has some really just pretty pictures, and it talks about like, now put your hand over your heart and feel your heartbeat. So it has like guided meditations that the kids can do when they're sitting in the calm corner and just like looking at the book. So this one's pretty good. I have Calm Ninja for students to read, where it's like, just like, I can stand tall like a mountain. Some teachers allow the kids to do stretches over in the calm corner. So this has some for the students to follow along with. I have Mindfulness is Your Superpower, and it has just like different scenarios, and then it asks questions. It's like, so think about the last time you cried. Did you feel better, or did you feel different after? Did it make you feel better? Did it make you feel worse? It's okay to cry. And it asks like, why is it important to try new things like math? Why is it important to try to learn different ways to do your math, and how can that help you? I have Breathe Like a Bear, where it has just guided meditations for the kids to do. This one definitely went with the older ones. The last few I put in the older grades, so that the kids could like read them themselves and go through the different meditations. And then I Am Peace. I actually have this whole series in my office right, oh, it's literally right behind my head. Right here. But they can just go through, read the book, or look at the pictures, you know, start to notice the here and the now. A lot of my students like to look at this book even if they can't read it. Okay, now my favorite books that are in my office. These are ones that I tend to pull a lot, or that students tend to pull a lot. I mean, I have plenty of books, but this is kind of what I gravitate towards. How to Apologize, super cute. I'll actually read this with small groups sometimes, or when I'm doing conflict resolution. I will read this with grades K through 6. They'll all read it, or I'll read it with them, and we'll talk about the right ways to apologize, and then we usually will like practice apologizing to someone if needed. Love this book. The Magical Yet, I was introduced to this one 2 or 3 years ago. This one's become a staple. I have kids that come in, they're like, I can't do it, I can't do it. You can't do it yet. And we'll read this and we'll talk about how saying yet can change our negative self-talk into positive self-talk and just different things. This one I grab pretty frequently. When I have friends that struggle sharing, and that happens, I like to read The Selfish Crocodile. It's really cute. It has really pretty pictures in it. A student spilled water on my copy, so it's a little well loved. I should probably order a new one. But it talks about how the crocodile wasn't being a good friend and nobody wanted to play with him, but then somebody was nice to him and helped teach him how to be a good friend, and good friends aren't selfish, good friends share. This one's really cute. Like most people in elementary schools, Jory John. I have the full collection. I just grabbed the bad seed because I'll have kids come in. They're like, well, I'm just a bad kid. I'm like, no, you're not a bad kid. You're not a bad kid. We'll read the book. We'll talk about it. I have a book companion curriculum that I'll use with this. Love all of Jory John's books. So much fun. And then this is probably one of my absolute favorite books in my office. I think it is so cute. It is The Box Turtle. I love this book. It's about a little turtle who went looking for a shell and he found a box and he loved his box, but then people made fun of him, so he got rid of his box. And he was trying to find another shell, another home, and he couldn't find anything. And he goes back to his box, but somebody else was living in it and kind of ruined it. And I love this book. I use it all the time. If I can find an excuse to use it, I will. I adore this book. So those are kind of what I grab now. This is what I picked up at the book fair just the other week. So this is a 2-in-1 book. So it's The Terrible Day and The Awesome Day. And I haven't read it with students yet, but it talks about what makes an awesome day versus what makes a terrible day, and how we can turn a terrible day and flip it into an awesome day. So that's kind of how I'm planning on using this book for now. I have When I Smile, A Book of Kindness. I have the other book by the same author. It's just a big hit. Kids like to come into my office and just look at it and read it with me when they need a minute to calm down. So grab this one. You can never have too many books, is my thinking. So grab this one, When I Smile. I have a bunch of Tom Percival's books, so I just grabbed the ones I was missing. Tilda Tries Again and Misha Makes Friends. I actually have his other books. It's behind me. Right here. So I have these ones right here too. So I will grab those ones on occasion. So I like that he's expanding into more emotions, so I just bought them. You get what you get and you don't get upset. I have used this book a few times already. The kid's like, no, I wanted that, and he got it instead, or she got it instead. So we've read this to help de-escalate some students. They really like looking at the pictures. They're pretty cute. Super grateful I added this one into my office. And then this is Unflappable, about the bird that couldn't fly. So it's these birds are just trying to learn how to fly. They can't, and so they make different things for them to be able to fly. Super cute. I'm excited to use this one with problem solving or not giving up. And then this was kind of a guilty pleasure purchase, I guess. Hedgehog in the Log, and it talks all about how obstacles are opportunities to like learn new things, to try new things, to invite others to help you. I think that the pictures are super pretty. I mean, they're very simple, but they're not overwhelming, and I love it. So excited to read this one with students who are struggling with like feeling stuck or blocked off or something. So excited for that. So in addition to these books, I have plenty behind me. I try to read a book at the beginning of each unit for our second step units to just kind of introduce the concept, what we're going to be talking about. And then depending on the length of the lessons, like some of the lessons I know are pretty short, even with the kids doing a lot of partner discussions. So I'll bring a book in and we'll read that together. I have some kids in my school who just get overwhelmed with a lot of noise and they just want to come in and sit down and have some quiet time. They're welcome to look at a book. If they need a break, I don't usually let them pull out like any of my games or my toys. They're always welcome to come in and grab a book and just sit and relax for a little bit before going back to class. Let me show you the other book kind of categories that I have here in my office. So right here I mainly have my Jory John books, P. Oswald books, all just kind of right here, just because these are favorites of students in my school. And then just like other books. This one's a good book about gossip and also like jumping to conclusions. That one's really good. These are more like same but different. This is more just kind of my random collection. These ones, this is where I try to keep a lot of my emotion books, just so kind of I know where they're at. Like, I'm not grumpy when you really are grumpy. Being hopeful, different books like that. Over here are just more emotion books. This is where I keep a lot of my like anger books are in this section, different things like that. See, here's the other, In My Heart, Too Shy for Show and Tell, Being Calm. I do have, sorry, I do have the Little Spot of Emotion books. I haven't really figured out a good way to incorporate them into lessons just yet, but I'm trying. And then these are books that students have read that I need to put away. That's kind of what lives there. This is more of my bullying section, so this is where I'll keep like The Invisible Boy and stuff, but it's like words are not for hurting, don't hit me, stop picking on me, the bully blockers, My Secret Bully. This is where my bully books live. These were actually just already here when I started 6 years ago. So the girls, I've read this book with a few small girls groups, and then these are the old version of the Barry books, like Lying by Joy Barry. I'll pull them out occasionally, but not super often. Over here I have just other books that kids kind of like, or that I'll use here and there for lessons, like Words in Your Heart. I'll use this one to teach about like the impact words have. Clark the Shark, I use this one a lot for self-control. Another Color Monster book. Friendship books, Tattle Tongue. One of these is not like the other, just kind of, some of these are just fun books too for kids to come in and look at after the fall. Talk about not giving up. Here's more, oh gosh, I really need to organize all my stuff. That's what this video is making me realize. Like How to Make a Friend, what tattling can do. Like, so this is my like
honesty section. This book needs to not be here, but that's okay. Books about being different, liking yourself. See, here's just another fun one. How to lose all of your friends, how to be a friend, different books like that. Down here, I have like my racial books, like Let's Talk About Race. I have a lot of like refugees, or like what is a refugee. I have those books. Here's just more, just kind of a random pile. This is where I have the, I don't know what happened. This is where I'll have the Percival books, things like the memory box. This is kind of where my grief books go. There's another one, like Always and Forever. At the beginning of the year, it was very organized. This is my bookshelf. This is where I keep my like books from different PDs, all of my Aska magazines, where I've like pulled ideas from and whatnot. That's what lives here. And then it bled over just a little bit. And then this, clearly not a book, but I ran out of space on my game shelf, so that lives here. Those are the books that I use most often. If you have any suggestions for like must-have books for your office, please let me know. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you all next week.